Hey, what's up and good morning from Quincy. So I checked out on my Airbnb. Today's my last full day here. I had a wonderful stay there. I'll put the link down below if you're ever interested in coming to Massachusetts and discovering it. Definitely though, I am familiar with the state, so I booked it in Rockland. So if you want to actually stay in Boston, you might have to get a hotel over there. But if you're not afraid of driving and going to a T station to take the subway, which is close to Rockland, then by all means save money because it is one of the cheapest Airbnbs I've found. And the bed was comfortable, had a great night's sleep every night, and Sherry was a wonderful host. So in the description box, I will put the link below if you want to look at the details. But today we're going to go back into Boston. But first off, I'm going to stop in Quincy for a light breakfast. All right, I got my milk tea and a salted egg yolk bao. So let's go check it out in the car. Okay, so I just got a small breakfast so we can try different things when we're actually in Boston. But I got a salted, is it like a lava egg? They call it that because I guess when you break it open, it kind of looks like an egg yolk, but it's like sugary. If you've never had it before, it should be. I've had it at dim sum places, but it's got a little, not sure if you can see. Well, that sucks. I'll use my phone to show you a close-up, but it has a little print on there, and you see some of the dim sum steaming right there in front of you. Everybody in there was very friendly, and you can smell the sweetness coming from it. It almost is, I know that sounds gross when I say and describe when you break it open that it flows like egg yolk, but it's like a custard, you know, like it's cooked and it's not like raw egg or anything like that. So I'm going to take a bite into this. It's not like the one we had at the dim sum place where it was kind of more watery. This one's kind of totally cooked inside, but it's yummy, it's sweet. It has that taste of a sweet custard. And the bun is so pillowy soft, and it's so warm and still hot since it's sitting in that steamer. And then I got my Hong Kong milk tea, which I tried in Honolulu recently, and I really liked it, so let's try it. This one's more floral, definitely more tea. The other one in Honolulu was mixed with coffee, but so floral, has that aftertaste in the nostrils of a pleasant floral smell. And they add sugar. They ask you if you want it regular or do you want, you know, half sugar or less sugar. So they can suit your sugar needs. And I just got it regular, but it's not too sweet at all. It's just perfect, especially on this chilly morning. But it's not so bad. Actually, I think I might have to ditch this jacket later on. It's going to be a high of 55 degrees. So yesterday it was around 44 and I was getting really hot in Boston. So once you start walking around, it does get really sweaty. So I'm near, since I'm in Quincy, there's many different tea stops in here. I'm going to park probably at the closest one I can find and then take the tea back into Boston. We'll go explore and definitely get those cannolis today. All right, I'm at Wollaston, and you can pay and park using this app. It's super cheap and super easy to do. $6 all day. 24-hour parking. You can't get that in Boston for sure. 1 hour is probably 28 bucks. So, anywho, this is Wollaston, one of the stations. If you go down, it's North Quincy after that. But they're all in Quincy. Lots of parking. Lot is huge. There's some more over there. And there's the transit police, so they will watch your car and stuff. And it's pretty safe and nice and clean. So we're going to take the red line into Boston again. made it to Chinatown again just to show you more of it without rain and snow. It's a beautiful day today. I'm thinking about just getting maybe a custard tart at the bakery. Maybe get something from a cheap eats place. But I'm kind of scared to get full because I want to taste everything. So that's why I don't want to eat too much, because we still have the north end to go back to. And I'd like to have my last lobster roll. Hopefully somewhere a little better. Or I want to try, actually my favorite is with mayo. You're either Team Mayo or Team Connecticut lobster roll, which is the hot butter. I'm Team Maine. Maine is the mayo. There's a lot of places to sit down and chill here, although kind of cold for that right now, but I could see in the summertime how it's really nice to sit down here and chill out with your friends or eat something. There's a lot of cool graffiti. So right here on the corner of Oxford and Beach Street, right where the Peach Farm Seafood is, it was the former residence of Dr. Sun Yat-sen. And you might know his name because he's famous in Hawaii, in Chinatown anyway. He has a statue right by the River Street front by Cultural Plaza. This is where he lived in Boston for a short time while there was a revolution going on in China. Dr. Sun Yat-sen has ties to Hawaii because he moved there and he actually went to Iolani School and then Punahou for his last year. So he is educated in Hawaii and became the first president of China when they had a revolution and got rid of their dynasties. So yeah, right here is where he lived in Boston, and they would have chats about the revolution. So yes, Boston is a revolutionary town. Over there, if you can see, it says Chinese Masonic Lodge. Interesting. I didn't know the Chinese were part of that. But right here is something nostalgic to me. My lens here, China Pearl. My friend Adam took me here for the first time. And to be honest, I never really experienced dim sum ever. If we did have dim sum, I mean, obviously I had manapua and stuff. It was in a box from Chunhua Cam that my grandma would bring home. But I never did experience sitting down with the carts that come around and where you can pick your own dim sum. But my friend Adam brought me here when I was a freshman in college, and I experienced that, and I thought it was really neat. Unfortunately, they're closed right now for renovations, China Pearl. But they have another location in Quincy. They got all this cool graffiti here. Really nice. So I came back to China Pearl in 2005 and took my friend here from my friend from Hawaii, and we enjoyed it. Boston's Chinatown was established around the 1870s, and to put it into perspective, our Chinatown in Honolulu was established a few years later in the 1890s. And the most interesting thing is that most of the people that immigrated from China to the U.S. mainland were from Taishan, China, and spoke the dialect Taishanese, while the immigrants who came to Hawaii to work the cane fields were from Zhongshan, China, and they spoke Cantonese. So far, the food I've had here was wonderful. And then, you know, there's a lot of other parts of China that are in Boston, like the northern Chinese cuisine I had earlier in the week. The Chinatown, to me, is a little bit smaller than Honolulu. I mean, it's more spread out. But you don't see those open markets here. Maybe it's different in the summer, but they're all just shops. And you don't see produce outside and stuff like that. But you can still find the same pastries, Chinese barbecue, and all the dim sum restaurants here. So I'm going to go hit up that bakery. It's right by that Chinatown gateway I showed you earlier. If you didn't see that video, go look back in my catalog and go check that one out. That was when it was snowing, but today's weather is very nice. So once you pass the gateway on the other side of the street over there, even though that's technically not part of the Chinatown area, there's still Chinese businesses over there as well. And yep, so we're gonna go try this Hing Shing bakery. But let me put my camera away first. I'm going to assume they're cash only, so I need to break out my wallet with the money, because usually I'm a credit card person. I pay it off right away, but I don't like carrying change. So let me get that sorted and we'll go into the pastry center.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh wow, look, you can see them making everything. Oh my god, it smells so good in here. Wow. Alright, I got an almond cookie and a tart for $2.50 or $2.70. I'm hanging out with all these old papas in the back that are very loud and talking. But this is the custard tart. Yummy. The crust is flaky. I like this stuff. It's so sweet and delicious. If you like custard pies, you'll definitely like these Hong Kong tarts. They're so delicious and sweet. Okay, I gotta get out of here and skedaddle because they started sitting next to me and talking to me in Chinese, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. I was about to eat my cookie too, but they were super loud and they were smoking, and do not like cigarette smoke. I smoke cigars, but cigarette smoke is a different animal. Ugh. Alright, I'm just gonna try this cookie real fast, and then I'm gonna save the rest as a snack later. But this is an almond cookie, just like you find in Hawaii. Got a little sliver of almond in the middle. Tastes just like home. Really crunchy, light and airy. It's not greasy. It's a perfect amount of sweetness. It's really good. But I'm going to save my appetite for other things, so I'm going to put that away and eat it as a snack as I go along. So I'm trying to find a cheap eats place that everybody talks about. Oh, there it is. They all look the same. They got these red kind of signs. So it's hard to see. But this is it. Wai Wai Restaurant. I hope they're open. They should be. It's, what time is it? Like 11. So it's downstairs in this basement. And they supposedly sell duck and ginger chicken and all that for cheap. Cash only. I heard they're rude, so hopefully they're not too rude for me. Hi. All right, that was a pretty awesome pre-lunch, I guess. I don't know what you would call it. I'm eating too much here on this trip, but I will say the positives were that we call it cold ginger chicken. They just call it scallion sauce, but that scallion sauce was the bomb. If you read reviews about Wai Wai, you either love it or hate it. People say the quality has gone down or the lady and the man's grumpy, but I didn't think so. That's the normal Chinese service that you're gonna get. I didn't take it personally. She's just to the point, and you want to eat in, you're gonna eat in, you're gonna take out. What do you want? Very simple menu. You either get char siu, cold ginger chicken, or roast duck, and that's all their menu is. You can mix and match. You can get 3 of the same on a bed of rice, or just get one of them. But hold on, let me look at my map. I'm trying to find a public restroom before I continue on. That's a good thing about Boston too. There's public restrooms here and there within walking distance, and they're fairly clean. But anyway, back to the food. It was $13 for 2 choices. That's a lot of food, a lot of rice. I will say the negative though was the char siu for me is different from Hawaii. The char siu wasn't as sweet and was just a little different. So next time I would just stick to the chicken. I didn't try the roast duck, but definitely try out Wai Wai for some cheap eats, and you'll get a lot of food. And that tea was delicious. I don't think you get the tea unless you dine in, but that was really good at whatever it was. So off to the next stop. They got this cool little bookstore just right here between 2 buildings. $5 each, used books. There's a whole bunch of them. It's pretty cool. Sorry about that. Moved too fast. Probably made you dizzy. We're here on West Street. There's Suffolk University. One of the colleges I wanted to go to. I think, yeah, I got into that college, but declined their offer. Too expensive. Can't afford it. And I don't think they have dorms. You have to get your own place. Here's the Massachusetts Bar Association. And up ahead, if you can see, is the Boston Common again, or the Public Gardens, where we started off yesterday by Beacon Street, and they got that bathroom right there. So it's really nice. And on the other side, there's another bathroom by the Park Street station where I got off at the T. So I'm going to use the restroom, and then we'll keep walking around, and hopefully you're even interested in this. I'm not sure. So I got up Kenmore Square. That's the stop for Fenway. And then you cross the David Ortiz Bridge. They named it after him, this bridge here. And you can see the Green Monster, Fenway Park. And then over there, somewhere, I think that's Lansdowne Street. Used to have a lot of clubs there. I'm not sure if it's the same anymore. But we used to go see a lot of people play there. Every night there was somebody. I think the last time I was there, I saw Typo Negative, which is funny about the Typo Negative Chinese music playing in that hot pot place. When I saw him play before he died. There it is, Fenway Park. We have game tickets this summer to watch them play the Colorado Rockies. So that'll be fun. So it's nice that you can take the T here and it's easy walk. So you can park at a T station, one of the bigger stations, and then just take the subway, and you don't have to pay for expensive, horrible parking. Because parking during a game is very expensive and hard to come by. There's the bleacher bar. It's open, so you can still go have a drink in there, even though there's no games right now. I think all the spring games are held in Florida, so they're over there. But yeah, this is Lansdowne Street. It's always happening at night. You have the House of Blues over there. And I just saw, there's an MGM music hall. They had that ad thing, that billboard that's digital, said the Dropkick Murphys are playing, which is, I guess, perfect for St. Patty's Day. Today is St. Patty's Day, which is going to be crazy here in Boston. There's the Fenway Park Gate C sign. But yeah, I'm not going to be here for that. I have an early flight, and it gets mad crazy, obviously. Boston is the biggest St. Patty's Day area. I was invited to have corned beef with Morgan, but that's too far of a drive for me because he lives so far away at the Cape. Probably almost 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. On the other side, on Jersey Street, there's the Red Sox team store, so you can get all your t-shirts or any memorabilia if you're interested. I won't show too much of the inside really, but if you're interested and you're a fan or you're just in the area and you want to look, it's here on the other side of the Fenway Park. Okay, we're here on Newbury Street, and my favorite place to go here during college was right here, and it's still here. It's Newbury Comics. They have awesome records and stuff you can't find for fans, but I'm sure it has changed a lot. Oh yeah, it's changed a lot. It's almost like a lame hot topic. But before, yeah, you could have rows and rows of these vinyls. Some Primus. Get Motley Crue, Madball, that's hardcore. Here, hold on. But yeah, it's changed. It's all like lame Hot Topic stuff. Before it was strictly just records and comics. And now there's all these clothing and stuff that I'm not interested in, but they do still have comics in the back. I'm not into comics, but if you're a collector, this is where you go for comics in Boston. They got lots upstairs. I think, if my memory serves me correctly, that big monstrosity used to be a Tower Records, and I don't know what they're making now up there. This looks like a condo or a garage. But I used to spend a lot of time there too at Tower Records. It was one of my favorite places to go to on the weekends and just look at different CDs and LPs and records and stuff. But it's gone. So I figure while we're at the Beacon Hill area, it's right nearby. That was Beacon Hill, and behind there was Boston Common, where I came from after Chinatown. This is a pedestrian bridge to cross across Storrow Drive. This is the main street, and there's the Hatch, similar to our Waikiki Shell. And they have concerts there, the Boston Pops, which is like their symphony. And over here, across the way, is the Charles River. I view it as a big Alawai canal. There are jokes here that are the same. People row here. Of course, they don't paddle canoes, but they row, which is similar. And they exercise, but they say don't fall in there because you'll probably come out with some disease or something. It's super dirty, just like our Alawai. And on the other side is Cambridge. So that's not Boston, that's Cambridge. And that has MIT, Harvard, and all the nerdy kids over there. So you can see how traffic is pretty busy right now, and it's 12 o'clock noon and there's still traffic all the time. But yeah, so don't get confused, that's not Boston. It's huge as well over there, Cambridge, but lots of tall buildings, but it's a totally different city. If you're wondering why I didn't go to Harvard, I just don't have time, and I don't know if you saw her, but Suzanne in my other vlog, my friend, works at Harvard, so she's trying to set up a little tour for my son when we come back in the summer. So we'll probably go there, and I'm not too interested in Harvard anyway. And if you're wondering why didn't I go to Salem or the North Shore, that's also saved for Aiden. We're going to come back in the summer just for 2 days, but we'll film Salem another time. This is just mainly the South Shore and Boston, so don't worry, I will go there. I've been there before anyway. On the way to the Green Line, I'm passing the Boston Public Garden, which is right next to Boston Common. They're kind of connected together, but there's the statue of Paul Revere on his horse with the skyline in the background. Alright, I am at 11% battery for my one favorite camera. It's the DJI Pocket, which does not have the batteries that you can charge separately. I wish they'd make a better you know, way to use this. You have to plug it in and charge. Anyway, like I said, the other one's mic doesn't really work, but here is the Boston Tea Party location, and it has the museum as well. Not sure if I'm going in. My feet are kind of hurting. Today's been a long day. I got here at about 11, and it is now almost 3 p.m., and I've been constantly on my feet, so I think I'm gonna call it a day after this. I'm gonna get something else to eat and then head on to the north end to get those cannolis that I didn't get yesterday. So this is a part of Boston Harbor. If you go that way, it's the seaport, and turning around this way is the actual city. So you can get tickets here. It's not free to go inside and look at some things. I don't think I'm going to pay for it, but if you're ever interested in that, I might do it with Aiden when he comes. But basically, I know that you can go in the back and they let you throw off these fake boxes of tea. So you can feel like you are a Boston Tea Party participant. All right, I'm going to walk probably another block that way and see if I can get something else to eat, and then we'll head to the north end. So actually, per Google Maps, right here is the Boston Tea Party marker. So you can see in the distance where the museum was, where I walked from. So even though the museum's there, it's around this area that they threw the tea over. Obviously, they didn't have this bridge for the vehicles to go to the other side, so it was somewhere over here where they threw over the tea. I'm gonna cross the street over there and go to James Hook and Company for a lobster roll. Hopefully they're open. I don't know. Looks kind of, I don't know, closed? Should be open. But it was recommended by a viewer, so I think I'm gonna fit that in. Have a little time, a little stomach room after walking, so hopefully it's delicious, and I'm sure it is. All right, I went to James Hook and Company with the suggestion of a viewer. Sorry, right now I can't look because I'm so busy and there's so many messages and stuff, but I think I read it the other day and they said to come here, so I wanted to try something different. I got some lobster bisque, and let's try it out. That's really strong in lobster flavor with that nice creamy tomato. But it's all blended up. You can see small chunks of lobster in there, but it's not chunky like clam chowder. It's nice and hot. It's creamy, tomatoey, and yummy. You definitely can taste the lobster in here. It's very seafoody. Nothing better than sitting outside on a nice, warm 55-degree day. Actually, I'm sweating out here in Boston and eating a lobster roll and some lobster bisque. All right, so this time I got a cold mayo Maine-style lobster roll. If you notice, all the lobster rolls come in a hot dog bun that have the sides cut off. That's also the way the hot dog buns come in New England. So if you go to the store, they all look like this. They're flat on the sides. Really generous on the lobster. I like the toasted bun. It has a lot of butter on it. Yummy. Oh my god, I couldn't even bite into that. Look at this piece of meat. This is really tasty. Freaking awesome. I'm definitely a mayo, Maine lobster type of person instead of hot butter. I think it has more taste to it. My battery's about to die, so thank you to whomever suggested James Hook. Definitely better than the last one I went to. like I said, there's usually musicians and stuff. And this lady that always plays her violin here for years. Sometimes bucket drummers, stuff like that. Alright, I'm walking through the north end and gonna get my cannolis. And I see a stop. It's the Paul Revere house. It's this little house here, tucked away with all the other buildings. The original house of Paul Revere. It's not free to go inside, so I'm just gonna go outside due to time restraints. But this is where he lived, in the North End. All original. Look at that glass. And the door, very colonial. 1770 to 1800. Alright, off to get a cannoli. Here's another Paul Revere statue, but it's at the north end. And right in the middle is the Old North Church. And I think I showed it to you yesterday, where Paul Revere told some of his people to hang the lantern, hang one if by land, two if by sea, and they hung two because the British came by sea. And so this same church is still here. It's kind of crazy how old it is and it's still standing. Alright, so I'm gonna go to my last cannoli place that's modern on the way back, which is right next to Mike's, but it's on the way back, so I'm gonna hit that last, and then I'm gonna jump on the tea and go home, and we'll taste it in the hotel. Okay, here I am at the Howard Johnson Quincy, and I like to pick these hotels outside of the city, just on the outskirts, because the parking is free, like a regular hotel. Anytime you go into a big city, they will charge you $30 plus a night for parking. So I like to have free parking, and it's also a little cheaper to be outside of the city limits. And I don't mind driving if it's not too far. So Quincy is probably 25 minutes from the airport. You could also go to Revere, which is right next to the airport, but I don't mind. I'm more of a South Shore person, so 25 minutes tops, because I have an early flight, so nobody will be around. Plus, it's a Saturday tomorrow, so everybody will be sleeping, no traffic. So, I just got here, checked in, and we're going to taste those cannolis. Oh my gosh, I am beat. But this is for the ending. Since I didn't have time and I was in a rush. It's St. Patrick's Day today. This is my last day here. And it is crazy. Plus it's a Friday. And I got done walking around about, I want to say 4 o'clock. And I didn't get home till, what time is it? It's 6:36. I waited so long for the train. I had to jump on the blue line, transfer to the orange line, and then orange line to the red line to come back to Quincy where my car was parked. And it was so packed, like you couldn't even get on. I've never seen it like that. And even other people were commenting like, what the heck? People couldn't fit. And then the next train was like 12 minutes or another 20-minute wait. So it took a while to get back. So let's start with the first one that everybody likes, but every Bostonian hates, is Mike's Pastry. It is the most popular for some reason. Every time you go out there, there's so much people in a line out the door, it appears, but it's really not. You just have to be assertive and get in and order, because a lot of the people are just standing around and they're indecisive and they're just looking at the menu and they don't know what they want. So they have different cannolis. I just stuck to the regular traditional cannoli. The only one I veered off of was I got a different one from Bova just to try, but I also got the regular cannoli, which is just the shell, no dipped chocolate, no nothing, and unless except for Mike's, they put powdered sugar on there. But I didn't get chocolate chips. I didn't get any funky whatever. There's Oreo flavored ones and all kinds of other new versions. I just got the regular cannoli. All right, and if you're wondering what a cannoli is, it's a hard shell that's pretty sugary, and it's an Italian pastry, and it's filled with ricotta cheese as the filling, and it's mixed with sugar, so it's sweet. All right, here goes nothing. It's very sweet. And the shell, it's crisp, but you can tell it could be crisper. One side note, I'll say it for each. Mike's is already pre-made. You can see it in the shelves. They're just sitting there like this, just soaking up all the moisture from the ricotta cheese. But overall good. It has good flavor. Pretty good. Walking in there at the bakery, you can smell sweetness. And one other side note about this, it has an aroma or aftertaste after you eat it it reminds me of the fair, the state fair or a carnival, like fried dough, that powdered sugar, and it's just a very pleasant aroma. Okay, to be fair, I'm gonna have some water between bites to cleanse my palate. Okay, the next one is Modern Pastry. It is a rival of Mike's. It's right down the road from it on the same street, just a couple of steps over. You just cross another street and it's right there. It's another Italian bakery, of course, that does all kinds of other Italian goods as well. They have Italian cookies, cakes, and even some really beautiful fruit tarts. And I saw some key lime pie. So this, to take note, was the only place that made it fresh. I noticed he went in the back and he was putting it together and his hands had powdered sugar on it, and so I didn't see any sitting in the display getting soggy. I think they just make it to order. So this is what it looks like. A little bit smaller than the Mike's Pastry one, and it looks like the shell looks a little thicker, it seems. I don't think I got enough cream, but I want to say the shell isn't as crunchy. It kind of just crunches a little bit and melts in your mouth. That could be pleasant to some, but I don't know. I like it. I'd rather have it crispier. I'm not sure. I'm going to do a close-up, but here it almost looks like, I'm probably going to get so much flack for this, but almost like cardboard. It's okay. I'm gonna just get some of the cream. It's a little bit more tangy, just a little, compared to Mike's. Mike's is just full-on blast in your mouth sweet. I think the cream has a little bit more balance, and it's smoother. The Mike's has a little texture to it, like a grittiness. So if they could switch the shell from Mike's and put the filling from Modern in it, then it would be amazing to me. But not bad, but I wouldn't say my favorite. Okay, I'm gonna do one where everybody overlooks it. It's Bova Bakery. They're one of the top Italian bakeries in the North End. But if you're a tourist, it seems like nobody really goes there. Same thing, they have awesome, authentic Italian cookies and treats in there. It's 24 hours. They also sell deli sandwiches and subs and cuts of deli meat, Italian deli meat. So definitely check it out. A place to get a sandwich if you're up all night because they're open 24 hours. This one I cheated just because they had it out in front of me. The other places have it as well, but I think just seeing it in the display made me want to get it. I also got pistachio because I'm a fan of pistachio, but that's not going to count in this. I'll try that on the side. I also got, of course, their regular, so I can compare everything. Same thing as Mike's. It's sitting in the display already, pre-made, so they don't make it for you when you order it, so it has been sitting there. First thing I notice is underneath the shell, there's a lot of pits in there. Looks like they punched holes in it. And it's been piped in because it's got some fancy little piping in there compared to the other ones. I think it's just piped in straight without one of those fancy cake pipers. So this is almost like cake icing. That one, the taste is good overall. I like the filling inside. The cheese is not too sweet, but not too tangy. Outside, the wrapping, not my thing. It's also kind of not as crunchy. I'm gonna taste Mike's one more time. So hard. All right, I'm probably gonna get hate for this, and I'm actually surprised myself. I wouldn't think I would like Mike's, but I prefer Mike's. A lot of people from Boston do not like it. They say it tastes like cardboard, but I don't think so. I think the other one tasted more like cardboard. The only criticism I have about Mike's is it's a little too sweet for me, and there's a little gritty taste. I wish they could make their ricotta more smooth, but overall, I think what makes the cannoli is the texture in your mouth. So the crunchiness of the shell compared to the other two, Modern and Bova, seem to be more soggy. And surprisingly, Mike's does not make theirs to order. It's sitting there just like Bova's. And then Modern made it for me. So I don't know why that one is kind of like cardboardy and stale tasting. So I'm sorry, that's me, that's my opinion. I enjoyed Mike's pastry the best out of these three. I will just try the pistachio for you. This is the Bova's pistachio, just for kicks, because it looked pretty and I'm a fan of pistachio. Has a really artificial pistachio taste. So I can already tell I'm sorry, I don't like it. Try one more time. Not for me. It's very artificial, that pistachio extract or something they used. But all in all, not bad. I prefer their regular cannoli with just the ricotta cheese. And then remember, wherever you pick and go, all of them have different flavors. So you can get Oreo ones, chocolate chip ones, chocolate dip shells. There are many options to choose from at all of these bakeries. So if you ever have a chance to go to Boston in the North End, definitely go to any one of these and pick up an Italian cannoli. So that's pretty much my last stay in Boston. And I hope you enjoyed the series of my travels. Not only food when I travel, I like to show the sights in case you one day would like to visit if you've never been. And you can see what to do, what to see, what to eat. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time in Hawaii. Peace out.